Hello everyone, this video game homies here, just the one homie right now, and I will let you guys know that now I'm doing a Fanboy series. I actually did this on another channel, but yeah, I'm not gonna get into that. Um, Basically it's the same format as this. Pretty much I just watch the video, react to their commentary, however stupid it is, and then just rinse and repeat throughout the whole video. It's kind of simple. So let's get down to this one. This one is a very special one. It's a really, really special one. So let's get to it, shall we? This is Xbox fanboys angry over third-party exclusivity. That's not really much of a fanboy thing, right? The title already pisses me off, honestly. Um, Xbox fanboys, it's not just them that's angry over that. It's other people too. You know? The fact that Sony is paying other developers regardless of like whether or not like the game would have happened with or without Sony, okay? That's the difference between Nintendo and some endeavors of Microsoft, right? So there you go. So let's just get down to it. By the way, you gotta love his little amazing anime. What the hell? Oh Jesus! Yeah, I love his little gay animated. Like, it looks like something out of Go Animate or something. Like, oh my God, it looks bad.
What's going on, y'all? H-Dog
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's
here,
go.
going to be talking
Yeah, I know,
about
that's immature.
this whole brand new story that's circulating the internet about how
Not as circulating as your head.
PlayStation apparently excluded certain games to ever come to Xbox at all. According to MP First, Microsoft, Sony has Xbox exclusion agreements with third parties, including Final Fantasy VII Remake. Are you looking to one day playing Final Fantasy VII Remake on Xbox Play?
You guys will soon know that the Final Fantasy VII Remake is not the only one. Just watch.
If so, you might be in for a long wait, as a new document via the UK CMA, the sales saga from back in the Dragon Ball days at this point, has Microsoft stating that Sony has entered what it calls Xbox exclusion deals with certain game companies. Part of the filing that mentions this specifically lists Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy 16.
Yup, Final Fantasy VII Remake, 16, and Resident Evil 2. I'm surprised that the Resident Evil 4 remake is on that list, bro. Like, legit. I'm happy that it's not, but Jesus, man. So forget this guy. He ain't gonna read it. I'm gonna read it to you guys. Exclusivity strategies are not uncommon in the games industry. This is Microsoft referring to Sony, trying to go to the UK officials or whatever about like Microsoft's purchase for Activision, right? Sony's trying to get to Microsoft about that. So Microsoft is saying that their strategy of making purchasing some exclusivity isn't uncommon, and that's true. That's absolutely true. Other have access to their own content. Yep, both Sony and Nintendo's exclusive first-party games rank among the best-selling in Europe and worldwide. Now, that's Sony and Nintendo's exclusives, so that's one thing. But like, look, they're talking about more third-party stuff. Like, first off, okay, Ghost of Tsushima and God of War, that's Sony's stuff. Last of Us, that's Sony stuff. But Spider-Man isn't fucking Sony's. It's legally theirs, but it wasn't theirs the whole time. Like, how many platforms did The Amazing Spider-Man come on? Like 9 different platforms, right? Shit, like, go read the list. Anyways, getting off track here. In addition to having outright exclusive content, Sony has entered into agreements with third-party publishers to require the exclusion of Xbox. Yup, not only Xbox, but Game Pass as well. any Xbox digital platform or any digital means of getting something on Xbox, Sony has stopped. So there you go. Not just Xbox in general, just Xbox, everything digital, digital services, everything. So let's see. Can distribute the games out. Yep. And then like the games that we just mentioned, Final Fantasy VII Remake, Final Fantasy 16, and the Silent Hill 2 remake. Yep. All those not coming to Xbox because Sony paid them not to put it on there. So we don't have to listen to the whole Mario stuff and everything. Yeah, we could just brush past this. So let's just get to his... I'm sorry. He looks like a unfinished N64 model. like, bruh. I'm sorry. You'll see why I'm roasting him. You know, you'll see why. The entitlement out of him. You'll see.
I really don't know that much about it. Now, this is something where let's Zelda, Xenoblade, Pokemon, and Animal Crossing. Now, this whole Xbox exclusion thing, I really don't know that much about it. Now,
no, wait, you don't know anything about it, but you're going to comment on it anyways. Well, let me bring you up to speed here, buddy. Basically, Sony has been buying games this generation and the last one as well away from Xbox. Whatever game you see that is on the PlayStation that's not on Xbox, Sony bought away from the Xbox. Do you remember when Sony bought a feature on Call of Duty? Like they paid Activision to keep it off of Xbox and PC. It was a certain feature that then a year later came to Xbox and PC. Sorry, I forgot what it was, but pretty much yes. That's what happened. Like that's why I'm stuttering a lot. It was just so stupid. Like, that was such a dumb strategy that it boggles my mind till this day that Sony tried to do something like that. Right? So, you know, they're bitching about Microsoft buying Activision, but the funny thing is that Microsoft buying Activision would still have less exclusivity than Sony having a deal with Activision. When the PS4 was the prime console, right? Weird.
This is something where, let's say, these third parties who end up coming to agreements with PlayStation to have their games exclusively on PlayStation. If it was a situation where they were like, yo, we want this game to be everywhere on all platforms, and Sony came in and said, no, we want it only on our system and no one else's, then I can see that being a bit of an issue. But
that is what they're doing. That is what they're doing.
Same time, third-party exclusivity has went both ways. It's not just something that's only benefited PlayStation.
Well, no shit.
Goes back to the PS2 days, even the 360 days. There was...
Okay, let's talk about the PS2 days and then the 360 days, right? Let's talk about that. PS2 had completely different hardware, and it was like the complete successor to the PS1. So it made sense. And also, like, what were third parties' options, right? Putting it on the Xbox, like a platform that had as many buttons, sure, and it was more powerful and more easier to develop for than the PS2, sure, but it was an unproven console by Microsoft out of all people. They're like, you mean the software company? What? The only hardware that they made are computers. What? You know, so it was unheard of, and also the only reason why they would also put on PS2 instead of Xbox as well was because like Microsoft was an American company, you know, Sony is not, or Sony was not. So that was another reason. But yeah, the Xbox was unproven, and it was made by a American company, which is why it didn't get like many Japanese support, you know. So, yeah, xenophobiast, you know, that's what the Japanese are, but yeah, funny how that is. And then the Xbox 360 days, okay, I know that Microsoft did some dumb exclusivity shit in those days, but can you tell me when they stopped a whole-ass franchise from coming to the PS3? Like, did they ever stop a Final Fantasy game coming from there? No. No, not really. People will probably say, "Oh, but they made a Tales of game like a Tales game not come to the other platforms. I don't think that was much of Microsoft's thing. You need to understand that Namco always put like the like a Tales game on each platform. Like they never really made it multi-plat until the PS4 and Xbox One days. You know what I mean? Like Tales of Graces was on the Wii in Japan, and then fucking in America it was called Tales of Graces F, which only came to the PS3. Why wouldn't they put it on the Xbox 360? You know what I mean? That's because they did that stupid weird quirky shit where they put a different game of it, a spin-off game, on each console, right? Like exclusive on each console. It was dumb. I don't know why they did that, but whatever. It's a thing. So the Xbox 360 did not do that, nowhere near as much as Sony is now with the PS4 and Xbox One. What would the Xbox do? What? Oh, we stopped some map packs from coming to the PS3. Wow. That was a stupid idea from the get-go anyways and didn't really benefit Activision in any way, shape, or form. That's why they stopped doing it now, right? Yeah, that DLC was fucking dumb because the people who had the DLC couldn't play with their friends who didn't have the DLC, you know? So they stopped doing it. So that wasn't much of a big deal, bro. Sorry. And also, you shouldn't be buying stupid shit like that anyway. So trust me, Microsoft actually did you guys a favor. But anyways, regardless, like Microsoft did not really do anything nowhere near as bad as Sony did at all. Right? So there you go. They never did anything that bad. Sorry, bro. And honestly, like the games that did come to the PS3, like Skyrim, maybe it would have been better off not coming to the PS3, honestly, because of the shitty ass performance that it had. And that was with a lot of other games, by the way. You know? So Microsoft, honestly, didn't really do that much because it would have benefited them not to do so. Because every port that ran on the 360 was worse on the PS3 in the early days. Do you remember that? Where the PS3 days were or the PS3 ports were bad? Anyways. Sorry, yeah. Ranting. Anyhow, all I'm saying is that Sony is going way overboard right now with big releases like Final Fantasy VII Remake not coming to the Xbox. Kingdom Hearts Collection, it didn't come to the Xbox or Nintendo for the longest time. And it's on the Xbox and Nintendo in the worst ways possible too, by the way. And PC. Worst way possible. But anyways, let's see. And then Final Fantasy 16, why did they make that exclusive? Final Fantasy 15 was on the Xbox, bro. It was on the Xbox One. You know? And then they also put it on mobile and Switch with the mini version or whatever it was called. So, yeah, not looking good at your point there, buddy.
Third-party exclusives that Microsoft was able to lock down throughout that time. And to be honest, a game like Bloodborne and Final Fantasy VII Remake, they've been out on PlayStation for a long time. So where was the outrage back then for both games being only on PlayStation?
Okay, I don't know why this guy talks so fucking slow. That's why I was ready to pause there. Sorry, guys. But what the fuck is this idiot talking about? What? People were mad that Bloodborne was not on any other console, bro. There were some people mad at that. Because that was a Sunsoft game? Is that what they're called? I'm not sure. But Sunsoft, that's a Souls game made by the same people, bro. Yeah, they were mad, you dipshit. You know? Because Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 was on the fucking Xbox as well as PC. And Bloodborne, still to this day, because of Sony, still to this day, does not have a fucking upgraded version. It wasn't even compatible on PS4 Pro. The same system, by the way, but with upgraded specs. Not on PS4 Pro. Not an upgraded version on PS5 for $10 more. Stupid, but whatever. There's not a version coming to PC anytime soon. None. Nothing. Nada. So yeah, people are mad about that dipshit. And also, Final Fantasy VII Remake, bro, people have been questioning that for the longest time because Square Enix released the original version of Final Fantasy VII on the Switch and Xbox. So, yeah, people were scratching their fucking heads wondering, where is it on Xbox? And Square Enix never said in the early trailers, where have they said that it was going to be exclusive on PlayStation? Never. Sony fucking made it exclusive by purchasing it and only having it come to Xbox or coming to PlayStation, even though the Xbox and Nintendo deserve it way more than Sony does. Let's be fucking honest there. Or deserve it more than it being only on PlayStation. That's what I meant. It's just so stupid.
Not everywhere else. And by the way, the original Final Fantasy VII was, guess what? On PlayStation.
Wow, checkmate there, you fucking flat-faced bitch. Wow. So because it was on a system 20 years ago, or exclusive on a system 20 fucking years ago, you think that's a reason for it to be only on one platform? It's dumb fucks like this that hold the industry back, bro. They really do. Who am I kidding? They don't have that much power, especially in their life. Anyways, I'm getting mad because the entitlement out of these stupid fanboys, these stupid PlayStation fanboys, I swear to God, y'all did not get beat as kids. You really didn't. And you should have. Like, really though. It was exclusive on a platform 20 fucking years ago, even though that, or over 20 years ago, I'm sorry. Even though that, it wasn't really their choice or anything. I mean, bro, the PlayStation was the only console that they could have put it on. Don't act like, Sony had anything to do with Final Fantasy VII's amazing fucking quality. It really didn't. It was only the platform. It was only because Nintendo fucked up so bad with the N64 that they're like, yeah, we need to move to PlayStation, bro. That's it. That's why it came to PlayStation only. And the Saturn was a fucking failure and hard to develop for. So yeah, what other platform did they have? Same thing with the PS2, right? Like, the reason why there's so many games on there only on the PS2, because like, what other choice did they have? What, the GameCube? No. That couldn't have as much data. It was more powerful, but didn't have as much data as the PS2. Xbox wasn't proven, right? It didn't really have the sales to, make the effort to make it on Xbox as well. So that sucks, but it's true. But yeah, guys, look, you know those franchises that you love that are on the Xbox and PlayStation that were originally from Nintendo? Look, guys, I'm sorry. It's been on Nintendo 30, or it started off on Nintendo platforms 30 years ago. So 30 or 40 years ago, I'm sorry. So therefore, guys, you can't play on your Xbox and PlayStation. It should only be on Nintendo platforms. Fuck you. No, I'm kidding. But that's the stupid entitlement that this motherfucker is spewing out. Right? In fact, motherfucker, you want to bring that? You want to bring that stupid thing up? You know what? Final Fantasy started on Nintendo. How about that? Therefore, it shouldn't be on PlayStation or any other console, right? According to your dumbass logic, right? Yo, this dude. Maybe if you did more exercise, your brain would be working better too. Shit.
So it makes sense why it was an exclusive, because the original was only on PlayStation as well.
Yep, guys, that's it. Case closed. The reason why it's only on the PS4 and 5 is not because of Sony's greedy practices. It's because it's been on their fucking platform, or their PlayStation platform 30 to 40 years ago. Yep, there you go. There. Thank you so much, dude.
But something that was a part of Sony's exclusivity deals and arrangements they had with third-party publishers at the time, like Square Enix.
No, they did not, you idiot. Maybe they did help with some stuff, but no. The reason why it was on the PlayStation is because that was the only fucking choice. They would have actually stuck with Nintendo if Nintendo actually made a competent platform. But they did not when it came to data. That's the thing. You need to understand that. If Nintendo didn't fuck up, they would have still had Final Fantasy games on Nintendo only. Possibly. Probably could have put it on both.